Hi students, my name is Sudesh Narashet. I am from Manara. So last class we discussed about a topic from 9th standard, that is lines and angles. In lines and angles we already discussed about lines, angles, pair of lines and pair of parallel lines and transversal lines parallel to the same line. Also in the last class we discussed about angle sum property of a triangle. So in that we discussed about theorem 6.7 and theorem 6.8. So also we discussed some of the problems and some of the homeworks. So let us move on to the next problems. So let us take one by one. Yes, the fourth problem tells us that, so here in this figure PQ is perpendicular to PS. Here PQ is perpendicular to PSC. So that means, so the angle between them makes a 90 degree here. So we have that given values. Then PQ is parallel to RS. PQ is parallel to RSC. Then angle SQR is equal to 28 degree. Here angle XQR is equal to 28 degree. It is also given. And angle QRT is equal to 65 degree. Angle QRT is equal to 65 degree. So it just looks like an exterior angle when the side side of this triangle, that is SQR is a triangle. When a side SR is produced up to T, then here a exterior angle is formed, that is angle QRT here. So we can use theorem 6.8 also here and find x and y. Here we have to find out the value of x and the value of y here. Yes. So firstly we have to write what are the given things. So what are the given things here? Yes. So here firstly given thing is PQ is perpendicular to PS. PQ line segment is perpendicular to PS here. Then so we can easily say that QPS, angle QPS is equal to 90 degree. That is angle QPS is equal to 90 degree. Yes. So then what are the other given terms here? PQ is parallel to RS. Yes, PQ is parallel to RS. Yes, we can use some of the axioms and some of the theorems with the help of PQ is parallel to RS. Then angle SQR is equal to 28 degree. It is also given. Angle SQR is equal to 28 degree. Then angle QRT is equal to 65 degree. It is also given. Angle QRT is equal to 65 degree. So these are the given. Then we have to analyze how to find out the value of x and y. So just observe. So all these figure. So all the given terms. Here x is there, here y is there. So here we know about 90 degree. That means, so when we are considering PQS triangle, we can use angle sum property. Yes. So here we can even find out x and y. But here those two are unknown values. For that we have to find out at least one of the values. Yes. So then what we have to do? So here just observe, one is the exterior angle is formed here. So exterior angle is formed means according to the theorem 6.8. So we can use that one. That is when a side of a triangle, when a side of a triangle is produced, so exterior angle is formed is the sum of the opposite, sum of the interior opposite angle, sum of the interior opposite angle. That means 65 degree is equal to 28 degree and this angle. So we have to find out. When if you find out this one, so we can take this as a 90 degree, then we can find out the value of y. So it is also possible. So here another possibility also there for finding any one of the unknown values, that is here. When we take PQ is parallel to RS, PQ is parallel to ST, PQ is parallel to ST. Then what happens? Just observe. So this 65 degree QRT and PQR are the alternate interior angles. So that means the sum of these two is equal to 65 degree. Then we can find out the value of x. Then with the help of angle sum property we can find out the value of y. So here firstly we have to analyze how to find out the value of x and y. There is no any construction needed here. So that's why no any need of writing construction. So let us take the solution. So firstly I will take the solution here. Solution. So firstly we have to find out the value of x here. So easily we can find out. If we take the theorem 6.8, so it needs another steps. So that's why it is very easy. So let us take PQ is parallel to ST. That is PQ is parallel to ST. And what is the transversal here? Transversal is QR. QR is a transversal and QR is a transversal. Then according to the theorem 6.2, what happens? So two lines are parallel. The two lines are parallel and a transversal intersects parallel lines at two different points. Then what happens? Alternate interior angles are equal. That means angle PQR is equal to angle QRT. That is angle PQR is equal to angle QRT here. So angle PQR can be written as a x plus 28. Yes, x plus 28 is equal to 65 degree. X plus 28 degree is equal to 65 degree. Then I will write here. So here we have to transpose this 28 degree to the RHS side, becomes minus 28 degree. That is x is equal to 65 degree minus 28 degree here. So then we have to subtract. So what is the answer for that? So here 65 degree minus 28 degree means here 7, then 37 degree. 37 degree is the answer. So it is the value of x. Then we have to find out the value of y. So how can we find out the value of y here? So use the angle sum property. From the angle sum property, the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So that means, so consider triangle PQS. Consider triangle PQS. From the angle sum property, so according to the angle sum property, we have the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. What are the interior angles here? So angle PQS, firstly angle PQS plus angle QPS plus angle PSQ. Angle PSQ is equal to 180 degree. The sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So then we have to substitute all the values. Angle PQS means angle PQS is equal to x plus angle QPS is equal to 90 degree plus angle PSQ is equal to y. So we have angle PSQ is equal to y is equal to 180 degree. So we have the value of x here. X is equal to 37 degree. 37 degree plus 90 degree plus y is equal to 180 degree. So I will transpose this 37 and 90 degree to the RHS side. So y is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree minus 37 degree here. So what is the value? 180 degree minus 90 degree means 90 degree. 90 degree minus 30 degree. So 90 degree minus 30 degree, 37 degree here. 90 degree minus 30 degree means 60 degree. Minus 7 degree means 53 degree. So y is equal to 53 degree. So with the help of angle sum property and all the known values and the known axioms and theorems, so we found out the value of x and y. So there are many other problems regarding based on the same problems here. So you have to find out with the given and known quantities. So let us move on to the next problem. Yes, the problem 5. Fifth problem tells us that the sides QR of triangle PQR is produced to a point S. That means here one of the side of the triangle is produced. That means here only we can assume that this problem belongs to the lines and angles, and this problem belongs to the angle sum property of a triangle, and this problem belongs to the theorem 6.8. That means if a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle formed is the sum of interior opposite angles. We can use that one. That means when we are taking the PRS, means here QPR and PQR are the interior opposite angles, so we can use it. Then if the bisectors of angle PQR and angle PRS meets at Q, that means here we have taken a line from Q. So in that part, here the PQR angle bisects QT into two equal parts. So PQR is bisects into two equal parts by the line QT. Then PRS also splits into two parts by the angle bisector TR into two parts. So two equal parts. So these are the given. So what we have to prove here? To prove angle QTR is equal to half of angle QPR. So angle QTR. So here angle QTR is half of angle QPR. So just to observe here, so some of the exterior angle is formed here. So just observe, this is one of the exterior angle for this triangle QTR when QR is produced. Also QR is a part of triangle PQR. So here also QR is produced up to S. Then what is the exterior angle is formed? PRS. So that means here QR is produced up to S. QR is a part of two different triangles here. So one is PQR and another one is the QTR. So when we take this situation, so there are two exterior angles is formed. So here just observe PQR. In PQR, PRS is the exterior angle is formed, and in QTR, TRS is the exterior angle is formed. So that means here we can use those exterior angles, and from the theorem 6.8 of angle sum property of triangle, so we can prove this assumption. So firstly we have to write what are the given terms. So given. So what are the given here? Here triangle PQR. QR of side QR of PQR is produced up to S. So this is the given term. Side QR of triangle PQR is produced up to S. Then an exterior angle is formed, that is PRS is the exterior angle is formed. So likewise. So here I will part this one. Yes. Then what we have to prove? To prove is QTR. Angle QTR is equal to half of angle QPR. So we have to prove this one. Then let us take the proof. Yes. So firstly we have to take the proof here. So firstly I will consider a triangle. So what is the triangle? QTR is a triangle and TRS is the exterior angle is formed. So here just observe QTR. We want QTR also QPR. So when we have QTR, when we take TRS is the exterior angle, then it is equal to the sum of interior opposite angles, that is QTR and this angle. Yes. So we can use that one. Also, when we have QPR here, so when we take TRS is the exterior angle, then QPR is QPR plus PQR. the sum of those two are equal to the exterior angle is formed. So that means here in this case a common term appears. That means here when we are taking QTR, TRS is the exterior angle is formed, then along with the QTR we have this part. Yes, then when we take PRS is the exterior angle, we have QPR and this entire angle PQR. That means it's a part of, so it's a half of this complete angle. This is for when we take the two times of this angle, we have PQR. So here some of the correction is there. So that's why. So we have to take some of the exterior angles. Firstly, I will take TRS is the exterior angle. So in triangle QTR. So in triangle QTR, TRS is the angle. TRS is exterior angle. So then, according to the theorem 6.8, what happens? Angle TRS is equal to angle QTR, interior opposite angle. That is QTR plus angle TQR. So we want QTR. So that's why we have to transpose this TQS or TQR, I will take TQR. So TQR to the LHS side. So what happens here? Angle QTR is equal to angle TRS minus angle TQR. So I will take this as equation number 1. So let us move on to the next part. That means here angle QTR is in the LHS side. So here also angle QTR is in the LHS side. So we have to change these parts. So just observe angle TRS, and angle TQR. So just observe those two are some of the part of the angle bisectors. Yes, you can agree. So here TRS and TQR are the sum of the part of the angle bisectors. So let us take angle bisectors and take a relationship between the complete angle and the bisect angles. So likewise, so here QT and TRS are the angle bisectors. QT and TR are angle bisectors of angle PQR and angle PRS respectively. That means here angle PQR is the 2 times of angle TQR. So also we can take it as a angle TQR is the half of the angle PQR. So both are one and the same here. So how can we take that one? Angle TQR is equal to half of angle PQR. Then, so let us come to this angle PRS. So angle TRS is equal to half of angle PRS, because so these two parts are one and the same. So that means, so complete angle is the 2 times of angle bisector. So that's why we can take the angle bisected angle is 2 times of complete angle. Yes, so that's why angle TRS is equal to half of angle PRS. So I will take this as equation number 2, complete as equation number 2. So let us substitute the equation number 2 in equation number 1. So here we have to replace TRS as half of PRS and TQR as the half of PQR. So let us replace this. So substitute equation 2 in equation 1 here. So let us take angle QTR. Angle QTR is equal to, in place of angle TRS we have half of PRS, angle PRS, then minus angle TQR minus angle TQR. In place of angle TQR we can substitute angle half of angle PQR, half of angle PQR. So I will take half 1/2 as a common to both. So I will take it as outside. What will remain here? Angle PRS minus angle PQR. Yes. So here we have to convert. Also we have to convert the RHS side. So I will take this as QTR is equal to half of angle PRS minus PQR as equation number 3. So here we want QPR. How we can take the QPR here? So just observe QPR is here. When we take PRS is the exterior angle. PRS is the exterior angle. Then exterior angle is formed. This is sum of interior angle. Interior opposite angles. What are the interior opposite angle for? Angle PRS, angle QPR and PQR here. So let us take that one. So I will drop this part here. Yes. So take or consider triangle PQR and angle PRS is the exterior angle. Then according to theorem 6.8 what happens here? So angle PRS is equal to angle QPR plus angle PQR. I will take this as equation number 4. Substitute equation number 4 in equation number 3. So we have to substitute angle PRS here. So substitute equation 4 in equation 3. Then angle QTR is equal to, so half of, so we have to substitute angle PRS is equal to angle QPR plus angle PQR in place of angle PRS, that is angle QPR plus angle PQR. So what is the remaining term here? Minus angle PQR. Yes. So here angle PQR and angle PQR, those two angles are one and the same. Here this plus, here it is minus, those two are getting cancelled. So then what will be remaining here? QTR is equal to half of angle QPR remains. This is our required proof. So here we use theorem 6.8 in two steps and some of the angle bisectors. So here we have our proof. So let us move on to the next problem. Yes, the next problem tells us that in figure, sides AB and AC of triangle ABC are produced to a point E and D respectively. So that means here in this case we have one triangle, that is ABC, triangle ABC. The sides of triangle ABC, that is AB and AC, are produced up to E and D. So that means here we can easily assume that this problem belongs to the lines and angles sum property of a triangle, and it belongs to the theorem 6.8. We can use theorem 6.8 already. We can use because of that sides of a triangle ABC, that AB and AC are produced up to E and D here. So we can easily assume that that one belongs to that part only. So then, if bisectors BO and CO of angle CBE and angle BCD respectively meet at O. That means here there are some of the angle bisectors are there. It is BO and CO meet at a point O here. So here we have to prove angle BOC is equal to 90 degree minus half into angle BAC. So here there are two triangles are formed here. So we can use angle sum property in both this. Then we have some of the angle bisector. That means here we can have some of the relationship between the angle bisectors, and we have a line and a ray. Here also we have a line and a ray. We can use that one. So here there are some of the possibilities are there. So with the help of those possibilities, we have to find out, we have to prove angle BOC is equal to 90 degree minus half into angle BAC. So firstly we have to write what are the given terms. So what are the given here? Yes. So given is, so here triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, AB and AC are produced. AB and AC are produced. We can use that one. Then BO and CO are the bisectors. BO and CO are bisectors of angle CBE and angle BCD. We can use this also. And there are two angles triangles are there, that is ABC and BOC. So we can use angle sum property. So here what we have to prove here? To prove angle BOC is equal to 90 degree minus half into angle BAC. So just observe angle BOC. Angle BOC is the part of this triangle BOC. Yes. And angle BAC is the part of this triangle BABC. So here we have a different angles. So that's why we have to connect those things. So how can we connect those things? But here just observe, for both the triangles, BC is a common side for both the triangles. So we can utilize these things. So here we have to think of. That means when here just observe BC. From BC side, here some BC is a ray stands on both AE and AD. We can use some of the axioms, that is axiom 6.1 and axiom 6.2, like that. So we can use that one. So from those things we have to take the relation between x, y and z to here and here also. So let us take those things. So firstly we have to take the bisectors. So we have to know how bisectors are utilized here. So BO is the bisector of angle CBE. So that means CBO is equal to half of angle CBE. So we can use that one. So from that we have angle BCBO. When we take CO as the angle bisector, so we have BCO is equal to half of BCD. So from that we have angle BCO here. So here just observe, when we have CBE, so we can take BC as the ray, BC is the ray, stands on AE. So we have the relationship between Y and this complete angle. That means the adjacent angle formed is 180 degree. From that we have Y 180 degree minus Y. That means we have the relationship between angle BCBO and angle CBE. So let us take that one. So solution. BO is the bisector of angle CBE. Angle CBE. That means here CBE is equal to, or angle CBO is equal to, angle CBO is equal to half of angle CBE. Angle CBE. So just observe, BC is a ray, stands on AE. That means adjacent angle formed is 180 degree. So I will take this as a part here. So then when a ray BC stands on AE, that means, so here y plus angle CBE is equal to 180 degree. Then angle CBE is equal to what happens here? 180 degree minus y. So substitute here, what happens is equal to 1 by 2 into 180 degree minus y. So also we can simplify that one. Let us 1 by 2 into 180 degree. So what happens here? I will take here this. So angle CBO is equal to, so 180 degree divided by 2, it is 90 degree minus y by 2. I will take this as equation number 1. Equation number 1 here. Then similarly, so we have to take CO as the bisector. CO is the bisector of angle BCD. Then what happens? So BCO, we want BCO, angle BCO is equal to half of angle BCD. Half of angle BCD. Then how can we write BCD here? When BC is a ray stands on the line AD. Then we can write it as Z plus angle BCD. Z plus angle BCD is equal to 180 degree. That is Z plus angle BCD is equal to 180 degree. That means angle BCD is equal to 180 degree minus Z. Substitute here. I will substitute here only. So 180 degree minus Z. Then, so after that we have to take 1 by 2 inside. So what happens here? 90 degree minus Z by 2. 90 degree minus Z by 2. I will take this as equation number 2 here. Then, here we want angle BOC. Here angle BOC is a part of the triangle BOC. So let us take the angle sum property in triangle BOC. So take angle sum property in triangle BOC. What happens here? What are the angles here? Angle BOC plus angle BCO plus angle CBO is equal to 180 degree. Let us substitute these two values here in respective places. That is angle BOC plus 90 degree minus Z by 2, 90 degree minus Z by 2 plus 90 degree minus Y by 2, 90 degree minus Y by 2 is equal to 180 degree. So I just observe 90 plus 90 is equal to 180 degree. So when 180 degree transposed to the RHS side, so those two are getting cancelled. Here I will cancel here only. These three are cancels. Then angle BOC is plus, so here minus z by 2 and minus y by 2. I will take out minus 1 by 2 from both this, minus 1 by 2 into y plus z is equal to 0. Then I will transpose minus 1 by 2 into y plus z to the RHS side. And this part here is angle BOC. Angle BOC is equal to 1 by 2 into y plus z. I will take this as equation number 3. Yes. So here we have y plus z. So we want angle BAC. Angle BAC we want. So that's why we want x. So let us take the relationship between y plus z and x. So because here we want angle BAC, so that's why we want x here. So let us take angle sum property in triangle ABC. Take angle sum property in triangle ABC. Yes, here we have to use angle sum property in triangle ABC. So what happens here? X plus y plus z is equal to 180 degree. X plus y plus z is equal to 180 degree. So here we have to transpose x because we want the relationship of y plus z with the x. So what happens here? Y plus z is equal to 180 degree minus x z. And so what is the angle of x here? X is equal to angle BAC. That is y plus z is equal to 180 degree minus angle BAC. So I will take this as equation number 4. So substitute equation 4 in equation 3. Yes. Substitute equation 4 in equation 3. So what happens here? In place of y plus z, we have to substitute 180 degree minus angle BAC. That is angle BOC is equal to 1 by 2 into 180 degree minus angle BAC. Let us take 1 by 2 inside the bracket. So what happens? 1 by 2 into 180 degree means 90 degree minus 1 by 2 into angle BAC. So angle BOC is equal to 90 degree minus angle BAC. So this is our required proof. So that means here what we have to do is we have to take all the possibilities. So firstly we have to take angle sum property. So also we have bisectors. So from that bisectors also we have to convert some angles here. So what we have to do is, so we have to take the possibility. That means angle BOC we want, when we have to take angle sum property, we want angle BOC, angle CBO and angle BCO. So these two angles also we have. So along with that one, we have to relate with these two angles also, y and z. So then only we can get the value of x here. So firstly we have to know what are the possibility of getting this. So then only we can analyze, then only we can take the right steps for proof. So let us take some of the homeworks here. So in figure, so in just refer the figure here. So in figure, angle yxz is equal to 62 degree and angle xyz is equal to 54 degree. So these two angles are given. So YO and ZO are the bisectors of angle XYZ, angle XZY respectively. That means bisectors means those two angles formed here are one and the same. Here also those two angles formed here one and the same. So here we have to find out OZY and YOZ. So firstly what we have to do is, so from the angle sum property we can find out the third angle here. So when we have third angle, so here those two angles OZY and OZX are one and the same. So from that we can find out the value of OZY, and then we want YOZ. So here from this angle we can find out the angle OYZ. When we have OYZ and OZY, we can easily find out the another unknown angle from the angle sum property. So here we have to do in your home only. So try that one. So last problem it is in figure. Lines PQ and RS intersect at point T. So here PQ and RS are intersecting. Lines intersect at T here. Then such that angle PRT is equal to 40 degree. We have angle 40 degree here, and RPT is equal to 90 degree. This angle we have. And TSQ. So TSQ is also given. So we have to find out angle SQT. That means this angle we have to find out. When we have this angle, we want this angle. From the angle sum property we can find out. So how can we find out that one? So here just observe, here two angles are there. So we can find out this third angle. And when we have this angle, so these two are vertically opposite angles. When we consider PQ and RS are the intersecting lines, then in point T, intersecting point, we have vertically opposite angles. Those two angles are equal. So from the theorem 6.2, so that means this angle and this angle are one and the same. When we have this angle, we can find out the value of SQT, angle SQT from the angle sum property. So let us take those two homeworks. So you have to solve in your home. So here I will conclude this whole chapter here. So it's a very easy chapter when we have all the basic knowledge. So from the basic knowledge, from all the axiom, from all the theorems, and we have to use those in a right way and right step. So I will conclude this chapter here. So those who are watching this video for the first time, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. So you can get the notification very easy. So thank you one and all. Be safe and stay home.